What's up, guys? My name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going over a YouTube commenter request for a normal ammo light bowgun build. Now, when I saw this, I'm not gonna lie, my brain kind of went, oh man. And that's because I am not a huge bowgun fan. Heavy bowgun, light bowgun, I don't know what it is. Even in previous games, I was just not a fan of the playstyle. Bow, I actually wasn't a fan of either up until Wilds in when they activated the perfect dodge, the discerning dodge, and it just kind of, I don't know, they've never been my thing. But I did have a good time making this build, and I actually think it cooks a lot more than what I might even give it credit for. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today, we are rocking the Rebel Stopper. If you do not know, Rebel Stopper is Sergios's Rarity 8 light bow gun. And the reason we're rocking this one is because it's got some really nice skills. Not only does it have one of, I think, it might be the highest actually, but one of the highest raw base attacks out there, but it also comes with some wonderful skills. One of which is the Sergios normal skill, blade scale loading. This is when you narrowly dodge an attack, you end up getting an additional reload where it just kind of stacks into your magazine. But on top of that, you get evading reload. When you evade, you automatically will load that current ammo that you've got on. So when we're using something like normal ammo, where you've got an infinite amount of it, like pierce or spread, it ends up cooking really hard. It actually pumped out a crazy amount of damage. I was really surprised, just because I was kind of remembering how to use light bowgun, just because I haven't really used it. I think I have like less than 10 hunts in the entire game on both bowguns combined. So then we have obviously our Queen Cornmaker. You can do pretty much anything in this slot. Because you are using your normal ammo, you can pretty much use it for anything. So you do not need it to be, you don't need another weapon if you don't want it. I normally just have a hunting horn because you never know. Then we're using something that I don't see used very often anymore, and that is Guardian Fulgur Anjanath and the helmet and the arms. And the reason for this is because of a skill called Second Wind. Second Wind gives you an additional stamina gauge. So what I mean by that is, if you look up here in the top left of my screen, you can see it's a little extra stamina bar. It is not something that anybody uses anymore, and that's because there's just better armor. However, the caveat to this, because of the updates coming in Title Update 4 very soon, these types of armor pieces are going to get some love. Not only are you going to be able to level them up higher, but you're also going to be able to slot in more decorations thanks to the Gogmazio's Hunt, which is what got me really thinking about this build. Because I can have that extra stamina now, and in just a couple of weeks, when Gogmazio's releases and I'm doing all of my upgrades on all of my gear post-Title Update 4, I will actually be able to use this set again, because it is one of my absolute favorite set bonuses. Next up, we have Gormagala. The reason we are rocking Gormagala is because Gormagala, at least in my case, when you are using light bowgun or heavy bowgun, is a requirement. The reason for it, frenzy. You're able to just kind of take shots from far away, and because of that, you're able to get a lot of increases when it comes to your affinity. Increasing that affinity without actually being in the fight is really nice. Include something like Guardian Fulgur Anjanath, and it makes it even easier because you can keep your affinity high with maximum might, and you're never getting past that little bit of your stamina gauge, okay? And last but not least, we have the Duna Gamma Wild Greaves. The reason for these, obviously, they're literally one of the best sets of greaves, in honestly one of the best pieces of armor in the entire game right now. You get a level 3 slot, 2 level 1s, quick sheath, and agitator. Really nice. The last part to this is a new charm that I just got, actually yesterday, and it is Attack Boost 3 with Burst 1, which is huge. In the case of this build, I would say you have a couple of choices. One, you go for something with Ballistics, if you have it. You go for something with Agitator, if you have it. You go with anything that has 1 level of Burst, or if you have a high Attack Boost charm. The only thing that I am using that I do recommend is that it is on a Rarity 8 one, so you can have maxed out critical boost. Okay? because everything else for this is just about increasing the damage. We just want the damage to do a lot. Because we're using normal ammo, we want to make sure that the damage that we can do is as high as humanly possible. So let's get into the decorations. For our decorations, we have 1 critical jewel 3 up here, 1 critical jewel 1 here, and then 1 down here in our talisman. The reason for this is it gives us crit boost level 5, which is really, really nice when you combine all of the affinity boosting skills that we have. Okay. Next up is we have a precise jewel. This is ballistics. Okay. For anybody that may not know, precise jewel is ballistics. I know that they don't have the exact same name. If you do not know how, you can see, at least me, I am on mouse and keyboard. If I were to go in here and select, you can see down here at the bottom, toggle name/skill. You can tab or whatever keybind it is for you, and it'll give you the exact name of the skill that you're looking for. So in this case, ballistics, as it appears in my active skill list, versus precise, which is what it says up here. Food for thought, just in case you didn't know. Okay. Next up, we have 2 mighty jewels. Mighty jewels are going to be really, really nice because it's going to give us maximum might. Maximum might is going to give us the 30% affinity on top of our natural about 20% affinity. Okay. On top of that, we have 1 counterattack jewel. Counterattack is going to give us adrenaline rush. Because we are playing into the Light Bowgun's mobility with its able to dodge, thanks to the weapon having evading loading and blade scale loading, every time we dodge, assuming we dodge when we're supposed to, not only are we going to get the damage increase from adrenaline rush, but we'll also get the ammo from evading loading, and we'll get the specialty ammo from blade scale loading. Okay, so it's really imperative that you are not far, far away from the monster, that you are still fighting regularly close to it, but not so close that you're just going to get mollywopped. Because if you also don't know, when you are using a ranged weapon in any Monster Hunter game, you will take more damage from the monsters that you're fighting. Okay? I don't remember exactly what the damage multiplier is, but you do take more damage. Next up, we have 2 Phoenix jewels. The reason for Phoenix is because Coalescence procs. Coalescence is really, really nice, and the thing about it is that it is going to give us more elemental attack and more status effect. I said that this was a normal ammo build, but what a lot of people may not know is actually that Rebel Stopper, the Sergios weapon, is also doubling as a possible Light Bowgun for Gogmazios. Mr. YouTube commenter, you specifically requested in this video you wanted a normal or Gogmazios build. Well, I'm going to give you both in one video. I'll end up breaking it down in just a second, but pretty much you can see here that I am currently built for normal ammo, and that is because Gogmazios hasn't released yet. So to make sure that I could test the build, that it was good, that it shined as well as I wanted it to for you, and everybody else that is a Light Bowgun enthusiast, I wanted to double check. The thing about it though, is that if you go over to Customize Bowguns, you can see here, we have an Elemental Boost magazine. Over here, we have Elemental Boost magazine. Because of these 2 things, you can actually slot them both in, and now your flaming ammo and your dragon ammo have been increased to another level. Okay, you have a little more of a capacity to continue firing. It is not a high level set of ammo. That is a-okay though, because you don't need it to be high level for it to do good damage. Ideally, what you want is capacity bonus. You want the capacity to keep going. Are you going to have a better opportunity with, say, an Ardian weapon, a God-rolled Ardian weapon? Absolutely you will. However, in the case of this, you are able to mix and match everything to your playstyle. If you want to use this build going into Gogmazios, you can. If you want to use this to go fight Omega, you can. I wouldn't recommend that one. That was a really bad example, I won't lie. Argfeld, Gormagala, Arch-Tempered New Udra. Whatever it is that you are wanting to fight, you are able to go and do, because normal ammo is going to work on all of them. Specifically for Gogmazios, though, you can see that on the best Light Bowgun in the game, we have flaming ammo and we have dragon ammo to make sure that we are able to take full advantage of the entire build. Okay? My bowgun for the normal ammo is set up as follows: normal ammo magazine and rapid fire mod. If you are going the elemental route, use elemental boost magazine and elemental boost magazine again. Okay? Now that we've gone over all that, let's finish up with the decorations. Decorations, this is why I chose Phoenix. If you are going to be using this only as a normal ammo build, go ahead and just swap these out for evade window. or an evade jewel. The reason for this is because evade window is just going to make it a little easier for you to hit those dodges when you are rolling. It's going to make it a little easier, a little more forgiving to get all of the bonuses, just because it's going to increase your invulnerability period. Okay? And last but not least, we have 2 challenger jewels and our sane jewels. Sane jewels are to give us to give us antivirus to make sure that once we clear our frenzy, we get the increased bonus. Okay? And then on top of all of that, once we have gone and gotten all of our affinity bonuses, we're actually sitting at a really, really nice 15% plus a 20% natural, 35. Maxima gives us 65. And with antivirus on top of that, we are going to get rid of frenzy, giving us a 10%, giving us 75% affinity, and an additional plus 10% thanks to the antivirus itself. So between frenzy, antivirus, Maxima Might, Agitator, we are sitting at a wonderful and crisp 85% affinity. Okay? It's really, really nice. It does a really, really good job. Let's go ahead and talk to our boy Luke right here. Training settings. This was requested also in my last video. No wounds, so we have this turned off, and I will leave it turned off for the time being. Activate specific skills. We'll do Agitator, Coalescence, Antivirus. Okay? And then we'll just turn on the Gormagala's Tyranny. Now you can see here, we're just firing. We're doing about 150 per, okay? Now if we hit the dodge, we hit Adrenaline Rush. We're at 258% with 65% affinity. Now, with our, let's go back to, we're hitting a little over 150 now. That was closer to 180. See 42, 42, 58, 42, 42, 58. Right here, we'll call it 60 across the board. About 180. Let's go ahead and hit the dodge. And now we have blade scale loading. And now it is 80 per, giving us an additional 30 per just for dodging between the blade scale loading, our evading loading, and adrenaline rush all proccing at once, giving us a whopping 90% affinity, 248 raw, and we haven't even gotten to the big bang yet. The alternate mode. 2 bursts. Let me go ahead and boom. 314 damage. Do it one more time. 2 bursts, 600 damage. And then on top of that, if we keep firing, we hit another dodge. We just rolled, we got a regular one. Dodge again, regular one. And then you can start mixing in some of your evading rules. And you can see here, I haven't actually had to reload my weapon at all because it just keeps working. The only caveat is that if you have blade scale loading active, you won't be able to refresh up on it, but the evading loading will still proc if you are to dodge again once more. So you can see with everything going, you have a solid amount of raw attack. You don't have to be all up in the monster's face. You can see here, we're not at max damage anymore. 58, we'll back up a little further, still 58, still 58. You can see we've got a decent amount of room between ourselves and the monster at which we can still be effective. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you all for coming to watch it. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.